Thanks for tuning in to another video on the MTG seal. Today we're going to do an unboxing of a magic product. This is our first sealed Commander product I'll showcase on the show. It is from Commander 2017, Feline Ferocity. This is the first Commander item that I've ever opened, so it's going to be new for me. I don't know if you guys have opened any of these before. You'll know a little bit more of what to expect than even I will. Commander is a format I'm not very familiar with. I just recently built my first Commander deck. I haven't gotten it tried out yet. I've never actually played it. So we'll probably sleeve this deck up. There it goes. And play it against the one that I created. Commander's a little different. It is 100 cards in the deck. You have your commander or general. In this case it's going to be, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, Erebo, Roar of the World. And the color identity on this is green and white, which means all the color identities of all the cards have to be either green, white, colorless, or a combination of the two. You can't have any cards that repeat except for basic lands in the Commander deck. This is kind of nice, a pull-off box. You've got your instructions, a little bit about the deck, playing the deck, and here I guess it talks about some of the creatures. I won't go into this. You guys, you can probably find online. I don't know, I've never really looked. You've got your quick reference guide in the bottom. I don't know if it's any different from the normal quick references. It doesn't appear to be. Looks the same as the other quick references and just like a normal 60 card deck. So here is our Commander deck. Get it open and we'll look through the cards. So yeah, it includes the oversized foil of the card, and then also you have the regular sized foil just because you have to have it make it shuffled into your deck or something like that. You have the option for it to like go in graveyard and things, so you can't have a different identifier or a different like sleeve to identify it differently from your other cards, although this is strange. I don't know if this can really pick it up or not. These cards here are obviously a little different just at the edge, and it separates right there too. These are probably like all the rares or something. Oh, there's tokens. Maybe those are all the tokens. I don't know, but it's just kind of strange. Yeah, you can sort of see it there. There's an obvious difference. I mean, it's lined up pretty well in the cards. So we'll begin going through this deck, and then I'll sleeve it up and we'll try to play a game. 1 versus 1 isn't really the way you're supposed to do Commander. It should be like 4 players is usually what people do, it seems like. Sorry, I should talk about the cards. We've got you saw the oversized foil, now the normal card. This is what you have in your command zone. This is your Commander. And these commanders all have the eminence mechanic on it, which means that if it's in the command zone or on the battlefield, an effect goes into place. And in this one, the effect is that another target cat you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn. And so it's a 5 mana for 5/5. Whenever another cat you control attacks, you may pay 3 mana total. If you do, it gains trample and gets +X/+X till end of turn, where X is its power. We've got another mythic here that could be like a replacement commander if you want to. Nazan, the Revered Bladesmith. When it enters a battlefield, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it. If you reveal a card named Hammer of Nazan, this way put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand and shuffle your library. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, you may tap target creature defending player controls. We got another, like a replacement commander. 3 for a 3/2 Miri. I think this is another one of those that was first printed just for this deck, and it's actually an excellent card. It's got first strike. When it attacks, each opponent can't block with more than one creature this combat, which is pretty crazy. And as long as it's tapped, no more than one creature can attack you each combat. So that's a good one to have out on the battlefield and keep hitting with it. We've got some tokens. Double-sided. I'll go ahead and flip them over. Cats, 2/2 cats, rats, and cat warriors with forest walk. I think that's everything. I'll set these over on the oversized. And then we'll go through the rest of them. I won't really read through all the cards since there's so many in here, but we'll take a look to kind of talk about some. I guess I should maybe zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit better. So we have the curse card. There's curses with, I think they just called him like the unlucky planeswalker, just stuff happening to him. There's a lot of equipment in this deck. I chose to open this deck because it seems like straight out of package, this one and the vampires is probably the most user friendly as far as all the precons go. Just as far as opening it up and playing with it immediately, they seem pretty well built. The Grixis the Grixis Wizards that came out seems like the most complicated as far as all the mechanics, and there's a lot of potential in it, don't get me wrong. It seems like it'd be a fun deck. It's just, with being my first commander stuff I wanted more of a straightforward deck, and the white-green cat deck seems like it's pretty much get the battlefield filled and just beat down your opponent. I haven't played it yet though, so if you guys think it's a little different, let me know. Shout out a comment or anything. Could be different. It could be as straightforward as I think it is. And with all the equipment in here, it's obviously you're wanting to boost your creatures, but it almost seems like it could even be like a Voltron sort of deck. And a Voltron deck is in which you can get all this equipment out and boost up your creatures. One of the main things is you can win the game by dealing 21 damage with your commander alone. And so if you can use all this different equipment... Okay, there's a random land in there. I figured we were starting lands. If you can do 21 damage with your commander alone, that's winning the game. So if you boost them with all this equipment, then you can get to that 21 a lot quicker. In 2017 Commander, they reduced the size from 5 precon decks to 4 precon decks. But actually I'm okay with that, just because like I said before, I've never picked up one of these. I've never tried Commander, but looking at everything, with the exception of like a couple really amazing decks in the past, there's just more value overall per deck than previous years when they had 5. If you guys think it's different, let me know. I mean, last year I was going to try to pick up Breed Lethality, but just couldn't find it anywhere. That one was obviously just it's mainly the commander, that Atraxa, or however you pronounce it, that's insane, but it just seemed like a fun deck, just build up counters. But I couldn't find it, so I went without it because I wasn't dropping the $80 it was going for online at the time. I think it's only gone up since then. They do include a lot of rares, which is really cool. A lot of mythics as well. They do the foil mythics, which they kind of put in just to be like your replacement commanders if you want to switch it up a little bit. But with that Eminence mechanic, I don't see myself switching it up at all. That Miri is plenty strong though. That could be one that you could arguably switch it out with. Plus Miri is only a 3 cost, which is really nice to get your commander out quicker. For those of you who don't know, the rules of Commander. One of them is that your commander, at least at the start of the game, is going to sit in your command zone, and you pay the initial mana cost for it, and then each time it gets put back into the command zone, it'll cost 2 colorless mana more. And you can, if it returns to your hand, you can obviously pay the face value. If there's a way you can have it in your graveyard and play it from your graveyard, you can pay that value, but anytime you play it from the command zone, it's going to be X times 2 more, where X is the amount of time that it's entered the battlefield already. I skipped through the basic lands. I mean, there's nothing to really say about that, but I'll go a little slower on the non-basic just so you guys can see those. I think also what I like about this cat deck is that the lands seem like they're the best overall out of all of the precons for 2017. Maybe it's just because there's 2 colors. I think this is only 2-color one, so maybe Wizards of the Coast figure they'd throw in better lands since they don't need to cover 3 colors with them. Looks like this is going to be the end of it here. And the last one's land. So yeah, that is the 100 card deck. As you saw, there's no repeating cards. I don't know what I'll do with this oversized foil. I don't know if you guys have anything that can be pretty cool with this, let me know. I have seen somebody like cut out around this frame and put in spin down like a life counter. That'd be pretty sweet for Commander. But yeah, other than that, we'll get this sleeved up. In our next video, we'll showcase the cat precon deck versus one that I built. I don't know how competitive it'll be. It's a Nekuzar deck, so it's kind of slower and more of that group mechanic, so it's meant more for the 4-player versus a 1 versus 1. But we will sleeve it up and get it going so you guys can see Commander. I may make mistakes, so I'm not familiar with all the rules. If you guys have any good guides online, feel free to post it in the comments. I've looked through some. It's not completely different, there's just some more finer mechanics involved with Commander that's completely different from normal constructed play. So yeah, I'll quit talking now, get this sleeved up, and see you guys soon to play it. Thanks.